Used this term low vibration before.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you to be low vibration?
You can think of it this way. Like there's some people, I think, look at low vibration as when you're around people and it's just, you don't want to be around them. They make you feel bad, not because they said something necessarily to you, but they're maybe in a victim mindset. They're always bringing problems. They're always bringing drama. Everything is wrong. Nothing is right. They're all low vibration.
Can you be low vibration because you're around low vibration people?
Yes, because you adopt their habits. You adopt and are influenced by people. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO. If you surround yourself with low vibration people, eventually, slowly, it's going to bring down your vibration. It's easier if you're up here, let's say higher vibration. I'm doing really well. I'm excelling in the way I think, emotionally stable. You kind of doing really well in life and you're up here and you're around people like down here and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to help pull this person up, right? It is actually easier for them to pull you down than it is for you to pull people up. You know, I always say, be careful who you try to save. Some people will drown you. It's like when we would do rescue, search and rescue, they would tell you when you got out in the water, the most dangerous thing isn't the water. It's the person who's panicking in the water who could kill you. Because as you get closer to them to save them, what are they doing, Stephen? They're panicking. They're flailing. Then they see you. What do? They grab onto you so they can stay afloat. And you know what they do? They push you down. You're there to save them. But in their panic and in their loss and in their chaos, what do? They push you down. People are the same way, just in relationships.
Hey guys, welcome back to the delivery with the delivery guy. I really appreciate you. Thanks for all the attention and your time. I know there's so much to watch and so much going on that I really truly appreciate the attention you guys give the show and tuning in when I know that there's so much other things you could watch. Today we're kind of just gonna touch base with who we are as people, how you guys are doing, maybe a little bit uplifting, maybe a little bit accountable. Just kind of depends on how you look at the episode. Just lately I've been surrounded by sometimes negative energies and sometimes attitudes and stuff like that. And I always ask myself, like, where it comes from, because, I know sometimes I can myself have an attitude because everybody does, but I don't really live in negative energy. And I don't really allow negative energy to penetrate me, if that makes sense. I'm very avoidant of people who are negative, no matter the situation. I really can't tolerate it, because just as much as you want to be negative, you have every reason to be positive, but you choose to be negative. And it's that kind of energy that pushes people away. It's that kind of energy that stops you from growing. Because at the end of the day, you are cells, okay? We're cells. And cells only do two things. They either grow or defend, okay? And in this world, we're in a constant state of defense. So we can never grow. Constantly defending ourselves, constantly living in fear, wondering what people think, constantly living in fear if you're going to pay your bills or get noticed at work for doing a good job, or your boyfriend's going to love you or give you the attention that you want, or your girlfriend's going to treat you like a fucking king and make sure everything is fucking done and this and that. Like, bro, what even is that shit? Okay, like this will steer me into the whole like relationship thing. That's a whole nother topic too. I'm probably gonna do an episode on that. But this just seems to be more about like, what do we feel? Who are you? As you're watching this and you ask yourself, who am I? What version of you is that? Is that the version of you that your kids want? Is that the version of you that your significant other wants? Is that the version of you that your parents want? Is that the version of you that you want? They clinicalize people for having multiple personality disorders, but in reality, every human being has a multiple personality disorder, because you want to be one way with this person and another way with this person and another way with that person. So who really are you if you're pretending to be who all these people want you to be and you're not even being yourself? It's like people who can't spend time alone. Like, you can't be alone, yet you want somebody to be with you. If you don't even want to be with yourself, why the fuck would somebody else want to be with you? How does that make sense? It's like loving other people. Like, if you don't love yourself, how can you honestly say you love somebody else? Or when you want someone to love you, which version of them do you want them to love? Do you want them to love the real version of you? Or do you want them to love the version of you that you create for them to love? Who is it? Because sometimes those two people aren't even close to the same people. I can be guilty of that too. But I'm just like colder in general because I don't think feelings really fucking matter. At least your feelings don't matter to me. Why should they? They're your feelings. Any feelings you have are constructed off of something I did, something I've done, or something I've said. And I don't fucking care because I have a right to do what I want, say what I want, and be who I want. But yet we operate like people's feelings are so important and, oh, you can't do this because it'll hurt their feelings. Ooh. Feelings aren't even fucking real. They're just a reaction. Okay? They're a reaction to probably unhealed trauma that you have because you can't hold yourself accountable or because you don't want to face your own life and look at it. Okay? It's like people who have, they're constantly going to relationship and relationship after relationship, or they need an outside source of affection, or they need somebody to tell them they're doing a good job, or they're beautiful, or some shit like that. Like, it's probably because their parents didn't pay them enough attention. Honestly. Like, when you see girls go out and, they got to get attention from guys all the time, it's probably because they stopped getting attention from their parents. Like, let's be real, okay? There was a whole generation of people that are growing up right now who were introduced to technology and cell phones and this whole world where your mind is trapped inside of that. And not only are you trapped inside of that, but you're trapped inside of a relationship or a job, and you have kids, and all of a sudden your kids are just what? What are they to you? Are they in the way? Are they an extension of you? Are they their own people? Or are you going to push your past traumas onto your children, and your children are going to grow up with traumas because you're negative or you're egotistical or you're a fucking asshole? So your kid's going to grow up to be a fucking asshole. Or you're a religious zealot and your kid's going to grow up to be some religious fucking zealot without ever giving your child the actual choice for real information. So like I said, when we look at who we are, or, us as a species, we're the most complex species that literally fucking exists. But what do we do with that? We sit here and walk around with anxiety and depression and, all this shit. Bro, anxiety is literally, are you ready for this? $1,000 therapy lesson right here, okay? Anxiety is literally worrying about things that might never happen. Okay? Let me say it again. Anxiety is worrying about things that might never happen. Okay? When you're anxious and you're scared of something, you're scared of the outcome that you think is going to happen. But you really don't know what outcome is going to happen because you haven't lived that experience yet. Okay? Now, depression, okay? Is depression real? Absolutely. Life is fucking depressing. Look around you, all right? We got veterans sleeping on the street. We got countries blowing each other up. Millions of people fucking dying, being displaced. There's videos of babies being blown up, limbs being blown off, cigarette fucking burns on a fucking baby from soldiers. Like, bro, come on. It is depressing. The Epstein files, nobody's still been arrested. All right. Yes, it's very depressing. But here's the counter, okay? Depression is thinking negatively. Let me say it again, okay? Simple. Depression is thinking negatively. Anxiety is worrying about something that might never happen. Okay? That's my stance. I don't, I'm not a fucking psychiatrist. I would never pay somebody $100,000 or whatever the fuck to shove your knowledge down my throat. Okay? I'm a human being and I have common sense. Okay? I wouldn't prescribe somebody a bunch of drugs to tell them to stop thinking about the things that make them depressed. Okay? People who suffer past traumas. And you give the people who put you in that trauma, the person who caused that trauma or the action that caused that trauma, you're giving it an unlimited amount of power over you by living every day of your life stuck in that trauma. But if you've made it through the trauma, you're already proof that it didn't kill you. It has literally made you stronger because you put up a defense for whatever that trauma was. So, every single person within earshot of this has suffered through some sort of traumatic event, whether it's the death of somebody randomly or a tragic event where you can't walk anymore, or, women, they suffer traumatic events all the time, a lot more than fucking men do, because men are pieces of shit. All right? I'm a man. I can definitely say that. Men are pieces of shit. Period. Okay? But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, okay? And that's where we seem to lose this species point of us that is meant to evolve, because that's all we're supposed to do. We're here to evolve as a species, as a people, as a collective, okay? We are all shards from the glass of consciousness, okay? And the whole idea is for us to come back together as one, as a collective consciousness and a collective whole. But we can't do that because so many of us are negative that when you find somebody with positive energy, that negative energy introduced into that positive energy takes over. Because when you plus a positive with a minus, you're taking away from the positive, right? That's the way that nature works, okay? If you're in a positive and you see somebody in a negative and that negative comes close to the positive, it starts pulling the positive away. That's just basic math, okay? If my positive number is added to a negative number, I'm going to lose positive numbers. That's the way energy works. Life is fucking energy, okay? Life is nothing but energy. That's all you are. You are a source of energy inside of a flesh vessel. And you have to protect that energy at all costs. You have to protect that energy from all people. And we don't understand that. We just let all of these things affect us, okay? You have a bad day at work, it affects the rest of your fucking day. You have a bad customer in the drive-thru, it affects the rest of your fucking shift. For what? For 10 seconds of somebody's attitude, it's going to ruin your day, and you're going to give attitude to the next person who comes your way because you got attitude? That's that negative addition I was just talking about. Literally proving my point. I watch people do it at my work sometimes. I watch people do it in life all the time. Okay? You take one small negative thing that happens and it turns into this train of negative things that keep happening for you and to you because you're stuck in this negative mindset. You're stuck in this negative attitude. Okay? I spoke on this before. There is an entire world that exists based on negative energy that you can't see. All right? When you're mad, your tables move, your sweaters get bigger and get caught on the doors, you're tripping over shit that's been there your whole life. Why? Nah, bitch, it's because you mad, dude. They trying to keep you in that negative energy. They feed off of that. Just like they feed off of the fear that they put you in with their bullshit news and their propaganda. We're gonna get nuked by Iran. Literally was never gonna happen. Literally was never going to happen. Of all the countries that have nukes in the world, North Korea, China, Russia, Turkey, Pakistan, several other fucking countries. I Iran was literally, let me say this again, Iran was literally at the bottom of threats of countries that have nuclear weapons. Okay? Israel is literally more of a nuclear threat to America than any other country because they have the Samson option. And their nuclear missiles will actually reach America. So don't let anybody fool you. They say they'll never use them on Americans. Like, yeah, okay, bro. Like, maybe you should look up the Hannibal Directive or the Samson Directive or just look at how they've operated over history. Okay, so, I mean, they're on our side. So maybe it's like keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer type of deal. There's a lot of money that comes in between that. You know, there's some Zionist billionaires that really own a big portion of American media and influence. And, you know, these podcasters, they own these companies that are putting these podcasters out and paying podcasters. So there's a lot of money involved in making sure that their agenda stays the way it is. But, you know, their agenda can never reach someone who protects their energy. All right? And, you know, that's what you have to do. You can still get information and protect your energy. All the information I know definitely makes it fucking depressing, but it doesn't make me depressed. It's depressing that humans have allowed this kind of behavior from their government or from the people that they elect to be in charge. That's fucking depressing. It's depressing watching people walk around not living up to their full potential because they're letting other people dictate their lives and their feelings and their actions. Oh, I did this because they did this. I feel this way because they did that. I'm going to do this because they said this to me. Like, oh, that's cool. You're a bitch. Like, how do you let other outside sources control that much of you? We don't need God to control us because we give that governance to everybody else. We give it to our government. We give it to people with attitudes. It doesn't matter. You know, it's like, what are you doing? When you allow people like that to have that kind of power over you, like, how does it feel? I think it's fucking hilarious when people start getting angry and I'm just sitting there like, cool, bro. Like, are you done being mad now? Because I don't know what to do with it. I don't do anger. You know, I think it's stupid as fuck. I think it's a waste of positive energy. I think it stops people from growth. And it gives people a reason to play victim. You know, my life isn't this way because, you know, they treated me like shit. Or, you know, there's stories of girls who stay with guys who beat their ass. Like, oh, he beat my ass for 5 years. Like, why the fuck did you let him beat you up for 5 years? You were scared of getting hurt to leave, so you stayed and got hurt instead? Then they have kids, you know, you have kids with people and you're like, oh, like that's going to fix them. Like, no, bitch. Dude was a piece of shit before you met him. He's a piece of shit after you have kids. I'm sorry. Like, then you go complain that he's not paying child support when you knew that he was a piece of shit before you had kids with him. It's, again, letting other people control your life, bro. You know, or guys who get a chick pregnant and they stay with them, knowing damn well they shouldn't because they've seen it, okay? They've seen it. Certain people who are in earshots of this right now, okay? Men, literally, that I know right now in this situation that need to get the fuck out. Because it's only going to cost you. Hopefully, the message is received, but I doubt it will be. Because men are fucking stupid. Alright? So, the idea that you should dictate to a woman how to live her life or what she should do with her body is absolutely fucking ignorant because we're stupid as fuck. Alright? Let's just face it. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, yes, men can do a lot of things and accomplish a lot of things together, but most of us are blocked by our ego from doing those great things. You can't partner up with your best friend because you're worried you'll probably try to fuck your girl or some shit like that, or you're scared he'll rip you off. Or some shit like that. Or you can't have a family business with your family because somebody's ego is bigger than the others. And, some person cares about money than the other person. Or you lose sight of what you were actually doing. And then because your family, you let that shit bother you even more. Because your family, like, you can't choose your family, bro. So, like, people who are born by the same people who made you, that's just coincidence, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean you owe anybody anything. The only people you owe anything to is maybe your parents, but really you don't even owe that to them. And that might be offensive. It might be offensive to my mom, who thinks I owe her something because she gave me life, but really all you did was have sex to have me. So you didn't really, you did something that benefited you, and out I came. That's really what a child is. In very few, maybe in, the elite families where they plan marriages and shit like that, they really plan for pregnancies, or really religious people will plan for pregnancies. Before the majority of us, you have sex and you have a kid. That's what happens. It isn't like you did some divine notion by creating me and I owe you my existence because you had sex with my father and out I came. That's not how it works. I know a lot of parents like to think that's how that works. I'm not saying my mom does specifically. I love my mom. I respect her. And I'm thankful for the life that she gave me. But just because I'm thankful for it does not mean that I owe you for it, if that makes sense. Okay? And, that's part of energy too. The indebtedness that we feel to people for doing something, most people, let's face it, are they really there when you need them? Are they really though? Sorry, I'm always up all night. Tired as fuck all the time. But anyways, it's you're there for people, and then when you need somebody, not all those people are really there for you. I know everybody within a earshot of this can fucking agree to that. I don't give a fuck where you're from or who you are. You just know that that's a simple fact of life, that you feel that way, that if you do everything for everybody, they'll do it for you. And then when you find yourself in the position where you need somebody, they're not really there. So, like I said, we all deal with that shit. But back to what I was saying about the whole, kids and parents thing in life. We don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself. Okay? Let me say that again. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself. Okay? And while your children are small, you owe it to them to keep them from killing themselves. Okay? That's about it. And to enhance anything it is that they want to do. Because that's letting them be free. When you put chains and bars on who you want them to be and force them to do things that you want them to do, you're just creating a version of a human being that you want. You're not even letting your kid express who they really want to be because you're stuck in the notion that they have to be exactly what you tell them. They have to do exactly what you tell them. Or they're what? You make them feel like they're nothing? You make them feel like they're not good enough? You don't like it when somebody makes you not feel good enough because you didn't do your job properly. Or because you called into work. Or because you didn't feel like doing something for somebody. Or doing something somebody else wanted you to do. But you hold your kids to a different standard than that, right? The only standard I hold my kids to is that they do the best in anything it is that they do. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just do your best in anything it is that you're going to do. If you're going to go to school, do your best at it. If you're going to get a job, do your fucking best at it. If you're going to play video games, do your fucking best at it. Okay? If you're going to slay hoes for the rest of your life, Do your best at it, bro. All right? Simple as that. Do your fucking best. That's the best message I have. But that doesn't just go for my kids. That goes for all of you guys too. Do your best in anything that you'll do. And you will be proud of everything that you do. Okay? One more time before I check out. Do your best in everything that you do, in anything that you do, and you will be proud of everything that you do. That's all you can try to do. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know what the next episode is going to be about. I'm trying to really steer away from this negative energy bullshit, but I also want you guys to know what's really going on, because we're not going to get that from American news. So, tune in. Tell me what you want to talk about. Let me know what you want to know. I love you. I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, tell people about us. We'll see you next time.
I'm very intentional about keeping bullshit away from me. If it's people, if it's their problems, I listen really well. So when people are talking, I just listen to hear what's coming out of them. You can hear if someone is a consistent complainer or if someone is consistently happy. You can hear all that stuff in what people are saying. So yeah, I just try to keep negativity and stress as far away from me as possible. And yeah, I don't have to work at that. It's just me. Yeah, at the end of the day, you have to be intentional about peace. There's 7 billion people on Earth. So there's other people that think peace too. So if everyone in your circle is chaotic, then you have to look at yourself and see why you're drawing the chaos. Maybe you haven't put up enough boundaries that says, do not bring chaos to my doorstep. Yeah. I've put up those boundaries. The people know.